Welcome to the Ambitious as Fuck podcast, where we have raw conversation about staying motivated and ambitious while facing real life challenges. Success doesn't just happen, you have to work hard, fall, and keep getting up regardless of the obstacles. If settling or giving up is not your style, stick around for this real ass conversation. My name is Priscilla, and I've always enjoyed helping and motivating others. While developing my own brand, I realized my passion for marketing and empowering others to keep pushing forward and manifesting their dreams. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of the Ambitious AF podcast. This podcast episode will be on YouTube, and I brought my best friend, Diana Dorsey, on because I keep talking about her. And I was like, hey, Diana, you want to do an episode? She's like, yeah. About what? And I said, whatever. What's up, girl?
Hi, Priscilla, or as I like to call you, Pre.
So that's an interesting one because for some reason, my name is too long and they had to figure out how to make it as short as possible. This is Diana, her husband, and her sister. We're all a bunch of crazy fun friends. And it ended up Pre. Who did that? Was it Ryan?
I think it was Ryan. You know Ryan. He always gives everyone nicknames.
So what are you up to today?
So today, just a bunch of calls. So I'm just thankful for you for squeezing me in. But yeah, I have a pretty busy day, calls, planning, and just finalizing all the details for the weekend, which we have a weekend full of events.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know or is new to the show, Diana is a wedding planner. She's a fucking badass. Way back so Diana started doing this on her own because she loved doing it after her wedding, and she just fell in love with planning. And then she had to take a break because you had a baby, or because you got pregnant, you had a baby.
Yeah.
And so you put the business on hold and you're like, I'll wait till she gets older. And then one day I come along and say, hey, you're a wedding planner. Let's start your business. And then so sure enough, that's how that started. But before that, Diana and I know each other. Oh my God, our older kids are 21 and they were about 5. Yeah. So we've known each other for that long. So we've worked together. We've gotten on each other's fucking nerves.
Yeah, right? Like sisters, like family.
Exactly. And honestly, like I couldn't imagine how boring my life would be if I didn't have Diana around. Because like Diana's like the kind of friend that you could just call and just tell her anything and she's gonna listen. And I could be sad, I could be mad, I could be excited, and Diana just like feels whatever I need at the moment.
No, it's so true, because I think we're at that level. Like even when I have something exciting to share, like the first thing I think about is always like, oh my gosh, I have to share this with like Priscilla and my family. And so it's always like, I feel like we've always been a part of each other's like milestones, and we have been through a lot together, ups and downs. And it's just been a roller coaster.
Okay, so tell me, this weekend we are actually going to work weddings. I'm going to work a wedding for you with Circe. Circe is her sister, who is the florist, but also helps with coordinating the day of on the wedding. So that's like, we kind of all interchangeably do everything.
Yeah.
Like but one of the first times, I think it was the first time we did flowers, was Julia's wedding, right?
No, I think we were doing, because remember that wedding?
Yes.
And also Shireen, like we had been, Julia's was like the first big,
oh my God, we were like fucking shitting flowers because there were so many flowers in her house. And you guys should have seen her stories not long ago. Diana had her whole house in Las Vegas, which is pretty fucking big, filled and covered with flowers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like when you have a wedding, but then you have to help with flowers?
I mean, it's definitely challenging. But I'm just glad that Circe is at a point where she can like now hire people to help her. But it's definitely challenging trying to do all the flowers before the day of the wedding. You know, you it's exhausting. So by the time the wedding day comes, it's like you kind of have to like pretend you're at 100% with your energy and everything, but really no, like you're exhausted because you were doing flowers 2 days before and you're sleeping at like midnight and you got to wake up early. And then the day of, you kind of have to play. Well, I know at least in my role, I have to play like set up, help with flowers as much as possible, but I also have to coordinate and attend to vendors and then like my own personal setup, which is like the minimal decor. So it's definitely a lot of balancing, but I can see it next year where I'm just fully focused more so on planning. And Cersei's been doing a great job at like just taking her business, leading it, and figuring out what she needs.
Right. So, okay. Aside from work, so you're in Vegas, you're gonna fly out here. When are you coming on? Thursday or Friday?
For this week, tomorrow, Thursday.
Okay, so Thursday. And this is kind of like your typical routine almost every week.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So you're flying in usually like on a Thursday and then back home on a Sunday or a Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've had like up to, what's the most weddings you had in one weekend?
I have done 3, 5, probably between 5 and 6 in a weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yes, girl. Yes. I think there was one weekend where I had 2 weddings on Friday, 3 weddings on Saturday, and then 1 on Sunday.
Holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
I know.
So doing a wedding or coordinating a wedding, it's like, it's not just, I am just telling people this because it like, I think you've mentioned before that people say it's so glamorous and this and that, but you're fucking busting your ass behind the scenes because your couples can't know that anything's going wrong. And how often is something going wrong and nobody ever finds out?
Pretty often. I think
almost every wedding.
Yeah, almost every wedding. I think there is something that goes wrong, whether it's really, really minor or, you know, like the wedding we did at the castle a couple weeks ago, where all of their DIY signage like fell and broke vases. Like, did you know that?
I did not realize the vases were breaking. No.
Yeah, so like the little vase that we had at like the welcome table.
Oh yes, there was like a little hand. That one.
Yeah, like that fell and we had to fix it. And so it could either be something like that or something like with a vendor or just very minor things, but there's always some sort of problem solving. But you know what, you mentioned something that day that I was like, oh yeah, where we talked about drama and how before, as we were learning and gaining experience, we had like so much drama.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, oh, that's the drama. That's it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the goal. I mean, that's what I always tell couples is like when you hire someone experienced, the problems are going to be less.
Right. Right. And so you're going on 8 years now, huh?
I got my business license in 2011. And 2014, I think it's when
it officially, let's promote.
Yeah. And I think I'm going on 5 years full-time running, like not having to juggle another job.
Right. Because so Diana was working for the school district in Berkeley back when she started, and she was like hustling always. But now, so this is something that I've actually liked talking about because I remember when not long ago, both of us were like, we have to work, and we have to constantly work, and almost to the point of not really getting breaks, but we enjoy working. We genuinely do enjoy working. But now, as kind of time has progressed, we've both independently gotten into like meditation and creating more of a healthy space mentally for ourselves. And what that looks like for me has been like to just chill the fuck out and pay attention to the baby.
Yeah.
So I can't really do as much work as I enjoy doing or as much as I would like to do. What about for you? I know there's been a little bit of shifts. Like I noticed that you take a little bit more me time for yourself than you used to.
Yeah, I do. But my me time looks a little different all the time. Like it's still not consistent. And I'm totally fine with that because I still love to work. Like if I sit I can't sit for long. Like I have to work. Like I love to work. I feel not productive if I'm not working. So for me, working is not like work, but I am, I've been doing the meditation for at least a couple of years now. And more so like I'm really more into it, even more and more and more the more I do it. And now I have like my little area and stuff like that. So being able to say, okay, I need to meditate 10, 20 minutes. It's totally different than before because I would never really do that. But I absolutely love it. It's definitely a must. And other forms that I get to like, relax or do me time is like having someone to help me clean my house or like do the garden or, little things like that. Or, me like take my vacations.
Right. And then now you're not really working from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, unless there's like some shit that really has to happen. Now
Right.
you're kind of like, okay, these are my set hours and I'm going to work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop at a certain time, where I think that's the boundaries that we didn't have, where it's like, okay, there's other things we got to do besides work. Like I love working, and we always used to talk kind of shit about people. It's like, what do you think you're going to get done if you're just sitting around all day sleeping till 1 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't get as much done, but there has to be those boundaries where you're not working from all morning, all the way until it's time to go to bed. That's just not healthy, period. So
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. But there has been days, like especially when I have like 5 weddings in a weekend where I have to work.
You have to, right. You gotta get shit done if you have a deadline. I mean, same for me. If I have a deadline, sometimes I have to go to sleep at 1 a.m. because I can't do any work until the baby's really asleep, or if my husband gets home and takes over, then I can start early, but I usually can't even start until the evening. So then like, it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta do it. And for the most part, it's like, that doesn't happen all the time. So it's okay. I don't mind. Okay. So tell me about your trip where'd you go?
Montana?
Yeah. Tell me about your fear of heights, because that's I'm sorry, but I love you and I feel really bad that happens to you, but I also find it incredibly hilarious.
Heights?
Yeah.
Really? It's actually more common than like people.
Well, no, it is. Totally. But the reason I find it hilarious is because, so I remember a long time ago, we were driving to some venue and I'm driving and you start fucking screaming. You're like, oh my God, Priscilla. And I'm like, what? And then, see, I scared the cat. And I was like, what? And you're like, don't fall off. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to die either.
I know.
So it's like, so I can laugh about it after, but it's like, you are like incredibly scared of heights. And then the other day I was like, but I thought you faced your fears. So tell me a little bit about that, because it's like, you jumped off of a big ass cliff in Mexico, right? Into the water.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary as hell to me. You did that. And then when you got in an airplane that your brother was flying, this little rinkety dinky little airplane, that would scare the shit out of me. So like, how do you do that?
I don't know. I think it's just a sting. Like, I'm terrified of heights, and trust me, like it's not something that I just like, now I'm scared of heights. No, since I was little, I've been scared of heights. Why? I don't know, because I can't remember when I was little. Like, this is something since I was young. I'm just terrified of heights. Like, that's just not the way I want to die. Like, I want to die a different way, not falling off. And for me, it's like, I really try, like I've tried like standing on the edge, but like it like really fucks with me. Like, I really get dizzy, like I shake, like it's just like a real phobia. And I have tried, that's why I do these things. Like, I've tried to like, okay, like to trust it, and I just can't seem. And now that I'm getting older, it's even gotten worse. And even driving. Sometimes I've been really close to like having a car accident because I'm like turning and I'm like, oh my gosh, the steering wheel's gonna come off and I'm gonna fly off the cliff, and like it's just really bad. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Like, so jumping off the cliff is like, okay, I could do this. I want to see what it feels like.
How did it feel?
It was the worst. I felt like my stomach went up to like my throat and you can't breathe. Like you're like, ooh. And,
oh my God.
and you're supposed to like go like this, right? Like be really stiff and go in the water. Well, when you're falling, when I was falling, the natural thing to do was to like do this. So when I fell in the water, I didn't fall right. So it hurt. And so it's just a mess.
How tall was that cliff?
20 feet, I think. It wasn't even like tall, like.
Well, it looked kind of tall to me because that shit scares me.
I know, but I have faced my fears, but I'm not over it.
Okay. And so, yeah, no, I mentioned to you like probably hypnosis or something. Like at this point, you're willing to try anything to kind of get over it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I even meditate and stuff about it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone has a fear of something.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's so crazy because like a lot of times I always try to figure out like what am I actually scared of, because many times I don't seem to be afraid. But speaking of heights, the other day, I didn't tell you this. So the other day I was cleaning this room, my office that I'm in. So this is like the office / spare bedroom / my gym room / meditation room, like / everything, right?
Yeah. Your functional space.
Yes. And I'm cleaning and I'm going to town. Like, you know, those kind of times when you put your music on full blast and you're dancing while you're cleaning and shit.
Uh-huh.
That was me the other day. And so then I was like, okay, cool. I'm looking around, I vacuum. I'm like, I am done. And I was like, so then I was like, all right, time to go throw out all the garbage that I made from this room. So I go outside and I have all these cardboard boxes in my hand. And I'm like, I open the door, like, you know, carefully. No one was here. It was just me. Didn't have my phone on me, didn't have my keys on me. Somehow I locked myself out.
Oh my God.
So I'm walking to the garbage and I'm thinking in my head, like, that would be so stupid if I locked myself out. And I don't know why I even thought that, because like, why would I lock myself out? Usually when you open the handle, it unlocks. And so I was like, no, but it wouldn't happen because I just left and I didn't lock it. So sure enough, I get back in and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? The fucking door is locked. I was like, oh my God, are you fucking serious right now? So then Hermes is coming home with Aaron, like from picking up our friend. And he wasn't going to be here for like 45 minutes. Oh, so it's just like, at this point, I'm going to all the windows, I'm circling. I'm like, fuck, I just locked them all. I know I locked them all. So I was like, okay. So I was like, oh, what do I do? I was like, well, I knocked on the neighbor's door to see if I could use his phone, but he didn't hear me. And I was not trying to make a big fuss. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, can I climb over the fence? So I have this like really tall fence. It must be like maybe, it's very much taller than me. It must be like at least 6 feet.
Yeah, at least.
At least. And it's just smooth panels of wood. And so there's nothing to really grab onto. And I'm like trying, because I've been doing pull-ups now, and I'm like, maybe I'm strong enough. I'm like, no, I'm not strong enough. No. And so then I had the stroller outside. And
oh my God.
Let me grab the stroller and like use it to prop myself up to climb over. So at this point, I did that. I climbed over. I get on the table that's on the other side and I get down and I'm like, shit, I guess I'm just going to sit here because this door is locked too.
Oh my God.
And so I just fucking grab a chair and I sit down, and we have like a fridge with beers outside. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to sit here and wait, drink the beer. So I crack open this beer, but then I'm thinking, I'm like, wait, the music was full blast and Aaron was supposed to be sleeping on the way back. He wasn't, but I was just like, oh my God, he's going to get home. He's not going to see me. He's going to be like, the music's full blast. So then I was like, all right, maybe I should go ask the neighbor to borrow his phone. So I go back to climb up onto the fence. I'm sitting at the top of this fence looking down and I'm like, come on, you could do this. Just jump. And I'm like, but no, I can't see anything because it was dark already. And I'm like,
no.
and then I'm trying to turn around. I'm like, maybe if I go this way. I'm like, no, fuck it, never mind.
Oh my God, that is so scary.
So they reminded me of being a kid when I would cut school. I was a bad kid, you guys. I had a kid when I was 16. But anyway, I would cut school, and like the kids would jump the fence. And that would actually stop me from cutting school because I was like, fuck no, I am not. Those were like 8 feet fences.
Yeah.
They were like the you can step into them. But that's how scared I am to jump off of something.
Yeah. No, thank you.
But yeah, that's my story of locking myself out and being afraid to jump the fence.
Hi,
What's that? So Erin decided to join us. Say hi to Diana. Say hi.
Hi, Erin. It's almost your birthday. Oh.
Diana is helping me a little bit with planning Erin's birthday party. I didn't get to have a baby shower, and I didn't get to really throw him a 1-year birthday party. And so I was like, let's do a party. This will be fun.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because I get to ask Diana stuff that she does on a regular basis. I don't have to break my head about it. And so I've always said, hire a freaking wedding planner or coordinator or an event coordinator, because it just makes your life so much easier, especially if like you get overwhelmed with like all the stuff that takes place to organize a party. I mean, luckily I have the experience with you, but it's like, oh my God, it could be so overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. Even if it's like simple, and it's never simple.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so what else is going on with you?
Let's see. Great, a lot of great things, a lot of awesome things. I mean, I feel like we're in a really good place right now. We're trying to do different things always, get out of our comfort zone, which is, driving in the hills of Montana.
So what were you doing in Montana? Let's talk about that.
So we went out there. So we fell in love with Montana after we visited Yellowstone. I love it because it's very open and it's not like house after house after house. It's like you have like the space. And lately, like both Ryan and I were like very into like just very like simple and like let's spend time with family and ways to do that, but also to like kind of help in our own way with like living simple and not harming the environment so much with like all the everyday things that we do, right? And so we are really into like off the grid type of thing and just kind of like in our own little bubble, and learning to survive. So like being with very limited, simple stuff, and how are we going to get through this and how are we going to live like this is something that we're really into. So we were in Montana because again, we fell in love with it after visiting Yellowstone, and we were looking for off the grid places so that we can have somewhere to vacation during the summer or the winter. We've always wanted like a winter Christmas, like white snow type of thing.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we picked Montana because you could still drive if you want, or you can fly if you want, but it's not like, oh my gosh, we have to drive to like South Carolina or something like that.
Okay. And so while you were up there freaking out over the hills that you had to climb to get to these places, there was a point where you were like, I can't get up this road, this one's ridiculous, and it seemed a little dangerous. So then you opted out of that and you actually put a bid on a land that you fell in love with.
Yeah. So
have you heard anything yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to share it here, but okay.
We did here. But yeah, we went to see 2 different mountains. And these are mountains that again are very like off the grid. And surprisingly, like actually both mountains, there was a lot of homes, but the second mountain we went to on Saturday, it was just terrifying. if I thought mountain 1 was terrifying, mountain 2 was just like, we're gonna die today. Like it was like very narrow, all gravel, cliff, nothing to hold you, like run wrong, move, and you were done. Like it was so narrow to where my car is full of scratches from like the bushes and the trees. And yeah, so we said hell no to that mountain, and we decided to move forward with one that was on the first mountain we seen, and that road is still scary, but not as much as that other one. So I can deal with that one. I can get used to it. And I think that, like everyone said, it's like once you're done with what you're gonna do to this place, it'll be worth it. So I think it'll just be worth it. The scariness that I have to go through.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what else to talk about. I feel like, you know what sucks is that like when I get you on here, it's like we don't have the same conversation. Like if there's been so many times where we're just talking and I wished we could have hit record at that moment, because we talk about so much stuff, and it's like I'm sure that everyone that I know has someone that they could just like shoot the shit, be honest, vent, talk about business or work or whatever, and just have a blast, you know?
Yeah.
So I wish that I could like just switch us on like that right now, but I'm like, I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, actually, I have one. Okay, let's talk about, all right. So when we did that wedding 2 weeks ago at the castle,
yeah,
we went after we were done with the wedding, because we had worked over 12 hours that day.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that.
Pretty much. Yeah. It was like pretty much all day.
Yeah. And so we go back and we're like, all right, time to let loose. We went and got some rosé, and then we went back to the hotel. And we're like, yes, jacuzzi. Let's like relax our muscles. So we're in the fucking, okay. All right. I didn't plan to sleep over. But I did. And it was really nice because it gives me a break from being with the baby like every day. He's like my only form of communication to a human, damn near, except for my husband. So I was like excited. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I didn't bring my toothbrush or anything, but I'm staying. So
yeah.
that's that. And so we get to the hotel. Diana gives me some stuff. That Circe was with us. And we get into the what is it, like it's an indoor pool with a jacuzzi. Yep. And so we're like, all right, cool. There's some people getting out. They happen to be part of the wedding, I guess.
Yeah, they were part of the wedding.
Yeah, and they left. I don't know if they were already leaving. I think they were already leaving, but they were probably like, they didn't bother us or anything, which is really cool. And so Diana gets into the jacuzzi first. I'm like sitting there, like trying to get myself ready. And there's this dude in there. Tell that part of it.
Well, I just got in there and it was just like, I got in the hot tub and he just right away started talking to me, but it was really hard to hear. So I was just catching bits and pieces here and there. And, but yeah, it was just like talk. Mm-hmm. And then you guys came in.
Okay. So then when we came in, we're like, all right, whatever. Cause we're pretty friendly people. We don't mind talking to anyone. It's fine. But we did not expect to be fucking chatting it up with this dude the whole time. And I was like, oh, great. So yeah. We're in there, Circe and I get in, and we're in there not even a fucking minute. And I look over at this dude, and he's got this big ass fucking moco hanging out of his nose, stretched out across his mouth. And Diana's like got this straight face looking at this dude talking, and I'm just looking, and I had to look away because I was like, oh my god, what the fuck, that's a big ass booger.
I know.
So then I'm looking at Circe is like kind of on the side next to this guy. Diana and I are like across from him, so I'm looking at Circe to see if she sees it. But then I realized that if I look at her like that, I was gonna start like just dying. So I couldn't look at anybody.
I almost busted out laughing, honestly. But the whole time I was like, okay, like a true friend would say something, but he's not even my friend. So I don't know what to do right now. Do I tell him or what? Like, it was so embarrassing. So then we like we were like, okay, we're done, we're getting out.
Yeah, and so we get out, Seriously, and I get out, and then Diana's like, all right, let me just get into the pool. So she's like, yeah. So you're over there standing trying to get in the pool. And you're like, oh, but it's gonna be cold. I'm like, just get in. And then dude jumps out of the jacuzzi and jumps into the pool.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so now he's following you.
Yeah.
And he was like, then Diana goes back into the fucking jacuzzi and he goes back into the fucking jacuzzi. It was like, oh my God. So Hermie says, you guys should have fucking told him about his booger, because I would have killed his game real quick. And I'm like,
that's true. Oh my God, that is so true.
I didn't think about it, but because here's the thing, and this was funny because you told me this. You were like, so I'm like very outspoken. I usually like will give people a heads up about something. I told Diana, if that was a chick, I totally would have told her, because I don't want her walking around with booger and somebody like looking at her. Like, I'm looking out for my sis, you know? But I was like, fuck that guy. But it actually would have been great to do that, because then he would have left.
I know. And I was just like, okay, Priscilla's going to say something right now. Okay, no, right now. And I was just waiting for the moment that you were going to say something. And that's why I couldn't look at you, or I couldn't look at, I was just like, I cannot. And
I couldn't look at any of you.
I couldn't. It was disgusting on top of that. I wanted to throw up.
So I send the girls a group text with because I was describing it to Hermes, and I go, it was like, I don't know, like this long white just string, like thick string. And then so he goes, wait, like you mean like a bean sprout? And I go, yeah, kind of like a bean sprout. So I send them a picture of a bowl of bean sprouts. I go, what does this remind you of? And I go, just pick one out and picture it on someone. And Diana gets sperm.
The tick gone wrong. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. We couldn't stop laughing afterward though.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna start dying laughing if I make eye contact with you guys.
That would have been so bad.
It would have been awesome, actually. Like, why are you guys laughing?
I know. Oh my gosh. And he's never gonna know, ever.
No, he won't, unless he figures out who we are and catches this episode. Oh my God.
That is so funny.
But yeah, so just, you know, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, we just fucking crack up all the time, just like random shit.
Oh yeah, it's always fun with us.
Yeah, like this Saturday, it's so cool because it's like, so I haven't done weddings with you like for a while, up until, I guess, what was it, this year?
Yeah.
And like, because obviously with the baby, it was really hard and whatnot. And then like, I just know how long those days are. And then I was doing other work. But now that I'm not doing as much work, I've always enjoyed the days that you're like, you want to do a wedding with me? I'm like, yeah. Because like, we get our work done. We always get our work done, but we have such a good time like together. And my husband already knows, oh, you guys are gonna have fun, you guys are going to hang out after, like, he just already knows.
Yeah, I know. And we have so much fun together. I mean, I feel like we definitely know how to make it such a good time and just be ourselves all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, girl, well, I'm gonna let you get on with your day. Thank you for squeezing this in, because I know it's super random.
No, this is awesome. This is great.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. All right, girl. Well, I guess I will talk to you later. And for everyone out there, if you need an event coordinator, wherever it is, but mostly the Bay Area and Las Vegas, Diana's freaking awesome. She's doing really, really high-end weddings at this point. She's got a celebrity in there that she's about to coordinate. We're not going to say who yet, or maybe, do you want, no, not yet.
I don't mind. Yeah.
All right. Who are you? Who's the celebrity?
So his name is Bo, and he plays Jamie in like Good Trouble. He's done several other movies like Fast and the Furious. He's played in El Chapo, several of other movies, and then his fiance is Jenny, who is super into like meditation and like coaching about like self-love and all that stuff. So it was just like such a perfect couple and a perfect match for me to be able to start with this level of like celebrity status.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what's to come. I can't wait for the wedding day.
I have always told you, Diana, you are going to be the female David Tutera. I swear by that. It's true. And she's like getting there. So, girl, I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you too.
Okay.
And I'm happy that you're a part of this journey and we get to see each other grow.
Yes. How can people find you, or where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on social media, on Instagram at Simply Elegant by Diana. I'm also on TikTok. And then of course my website, which is booksiemplyelegant.com.
All right, girl. Well, have a good day and I'll talk to you later. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy, share it if you think someone would enjoy it as well, and leave your comments. Tell me what you want me to talk about. All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
For more tips and motivation, check me out on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok at AmbitiousAF.